Hey there, YouTube friends, Masked Bandit here, and welcome back to Conifer Slopes. Another episode for you today. This is episode number 16 of Conifer Slopes, and we are once again going to be back in the wharf section. Yeah, we still are sticking there. There's some big changes coming your way in the form of the spinning coaster, new colors, new layout, and some other new stuff. We're really going to work today on integrating that coaster into the area. I've got a little bit of a time lapse for you, and then there's going to be a little bit of a real-time walk around the area so you can see how things are shaping up. I did a lot of work actually off camera because I wasn't sure if it would be worthy or not of an episode. So once it was there, I was like, well, I guess this is sticking, and I'll just show you in real time. So shorter time lapse today, followed by a small real-time tour of the wharf. About the last 5 minutes of the video will be that. So strap in, relax, and enjoy, and I will see you guys on the other side of this cut. So here we are in the time lapse. First thing you might notice is this lovely lighthouse. I did not make this lovely lighthouse. This lighthouse is made by Cappy. Pretty sure that's who it is, Cappy. If you want to download this lighthouse, you can check the description below, and I have left a workshop link there. It is a fantastic lighthouse. Now, I did recolor it slightly. It was a little muted. It was very realistic in its color, and I wanted to brighten it up, theme park it up a little bit. So that's what I did. I added the little red at the bottom. I tried a bunch of different lighthouses. I tried one by Swiss, who's also pretty prolific in his buildings. He's also on the workshop. And I tried one by TMH, who's a member of Bro Nation. And this one was the winner. Now, the issue is, once this lighthouse went in, it meant that the coaster had to change. And you can see throughout this entire time lapse how huge or how tall this coaster is. And once I brought it to the people at Bro Nation, that was the one thing that they really noticed, was how dominant the coaster was compared to this lovely lighthouse. And I guess I could see their point. Especially since this isn't my lighthouse, I really want to let it shine because it's really, really well done. Very nice. So wanted to make sure that it could fit in well. So you're going to see the coaster as is throughout this time lapse, and then the whole reason we're going to do the real time is so you can get a better look at the new layout. I did not record any of the new layout building process. One, because you've already watched an episode of me struggling to build this spinner, and struggle being the key word. And two, I wasn't sure if I was even going to build a new spinner. This particular coaster was a struggle for me to get to brake properly, to block properly, and run smoothly, and so it was kind of a struggle. So I really was against having to redo it, not just because it was hard and it wasn't going to be fun, but in the end, I think you'll agree with me once we get there. I think you're going to like it a lot better. So what I had to do, since this lighthouse was so close to this path, I thought it'd be really fun to go ahead and incorporate it into the path, kind of create an interactive element. And so that's where this little arch came from. And I didn't want it just to be rocks. I wanted there to be an actual arch. So that's why I used the stone one. And hopefully I kept as few rocks poking through as possible. And then I thought, well, if we're going to go this route, we got to make sure that our fictitious person that mans our lighthouse can get in somehow. And so I built this little custom staircase here out of these cement pillars. And that's pretty much all there is to say about that. Yeah, so this is the last big addition to the wharf area. The coaster, we'll have to finish it up. We won't finish it all in this episode. We'll have one more coaster episode probably, and then we'll have to finish the two flats. The balloon ride is well on its way. I'd say it's more than halfway done. And then we have the whirly rig, which is 0% done aside from its placement. We'll have to then go in and make sure we dress up all the other details and make sure all the other facades are working and it's adequately cluttered and adequately theme parky. And then we can throw the good old done stamp on this and we can get out of this area and move somewhere else. So I'm hopeful 2-3 more episodes, maybe 2 or 3 more episodes here. in the wharf, and then we'll transition. So in the last episode, I talked about the struggle of inspiration and just not wanting to abandon the project, and I think it was a Planet Coaster funk. Hopefully you've noticed you don't just watch Planet Coaster videos on my channel. I encourage you to check out some of the other stuff on the channel if you like kind of, my style. I got Parkitect and a bunch of other things, and you might have noticed a bunch of new games hitting the channel recently, and some are only going to have a few episodes. Some hopefully will turn into longer series, but I felt so pigeonholed to do Planet Coaster for YouTube that I think my issue is it kind of stopped being fun for a little bit. So it's been really nice to go and I want to play this game now, so I play this game now, and I whatever game that might be, and I play it for 20 to 30 minutes, and I record myself, and it's really easy to have an episode done, so I can at least maintain some regularity on the channel. So but by doing that, it actually got me more excited for Planet Coaster stuff. You've noticed hopefully the baseball stadium project, which is coming along, and Conifer Slopes is back this week, and I'm going to be hopping into Bro Coaster to No Name Landy to do some Bro Coaster stuff. I mean, I'm excited to hop around all these Planet Coaster projects, and I don't feel as wed to them as I might have back when I first started hardcore YouTubing back last November. I mean, it was Bro Coaster and it was Conifer Slopes for pretty much a year. I pretty much abandoned all my other gaming, at least for YouTube, and this week especially, it was like, I want to play this game. And actually the game is Civilization. I've been playing a lot of Civ 6 recently, and I was talking to my wife and I said, I want to play this game, but I'm not sure it would make a good YouTube video, and I'm not sure I want to play a game if I can't put it on YouTube. And that's when I just had to stop, and I had to say, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for the YouTubes, or am I doing this because I want to have fun, and therefore my YouTube's videos will be more successful? Because if I'm not having fun, it's going to really come across in the videos. So I said, screw it. I'm going to make a bunch of videos with a bunch of different games, and I'm not going to stick to series. When I was on the forums, I wouldn't have one project that lasted for months and months and months. The way I operate is I hop from project to project. And in the YouTube era here, I guess I hop from game to game. So, yeah, I know that this has been a kind of a common theme in my videos the last couple episodes of Conifer Slopes. I've just been struggling with, where am I at? Am I losing motivation on the park, or am I losing motivation in Planet Coaster? And it's not that. It's I want to do other things, and I want to play other things. And I want to put other things on the channel. I mean, from a, I guess, quote-unquote business standpoint, it's not a good idea to hitch your cart to one horse? Did I just make up a phrase? I might have just made up a phrase. I don't know. I might have just made up a phrase, but I want to diversify the channel because I like to play other things, and so, yeah. Boy, Conifer Slopes video, and I haven't talked about Conifer Slopes a lot at all. I'm really digging the pine tree placement here. Of course I am. That's why I put them there. Ha ha ha. But no, I actually am enjoying the whole idea of using pine trees and creating this northeastern kind of look, and I'll mention that in the real time, I think. I like that vibe a lot. I like it. My parents took us camping a lot up in Michigan, and we'd go up to Traverse City, way up there, about 7 hours from my house in Chicago. And my parents love lighthouses, and there's a ton along Lake Michigan. We'd go and visit, and this whole piney lake, lighthouse just kind of speaks to me, and so that's kind of the vibe I'm going for, even though like the actual wharf area is more seaside. I don't know. It's this weird mix, but I kind of like it. And this station, I actually really happy with the way this came out. I was going for, you could see a couple times before how big the footprint was, and it was dwarfing everything. And that'll go back into why we ended up having to redo this coaster. But for the station, these are goofy roofs that I never use, but I really like them here. It almost feels kind of alpine-y, which I don't know why I think it fits, but in some weird way I think it does. And I really am happy with how this turned out. I thought it was simple. I wanted it to look simple, and I didn't want it to overtake everything around it, because the other buildings in this area are pretty small. So I wanted to be sure, but you can't do much with the in-game station. It is as big as it is, so you have to be really careful. So I was very, very pleased with the way this came out, and hopefully you enjoy it too, and you don't think it sucks. So yeah, and after we finish the station build, we are going to go ahead and hop into the real-time portion of the video. So at this time, I'm going to let the music come up, and we'll just finish the time lapse, and I'll see you in the real-time portion. See you there. Okay, so we're here in our little live portion, and I wanted to go ahead, like I said, and show you the new layout for the coaster. After getting some feedback from some of the people on Bronation, I went ahead and I completely redid the coaster. It was kind of the impetus I needed. I was always just kind of marginally satisfied with the coaster, I suppose. To be fair, it didn't actually operate correctly, but we won't talk about that. But what I did, the big change I made is I made sure that when it went around the lighthouse, because I did want that to be a feature, I made sure that it did not go too high. And now you can see it goes right around there. I actually like this a lot more. I think it is a lot better. I will need to do a custom support probably right there, so that's okay. But you can see the layout here. Again, I'm not an expert on coasters, and I'm not sure how realistic this is to the style, but I kind of like it. I like this big swooping section here into the first break, into the first block section. And then it kind of does this out and back race to the lighthouse, which is, I think, kind of cool. And you get some good spinning moments going on, which is obviously always a plus. And we make our way back into another mini block, and we do a little bit of 10 turns towards the station. A couple more nice spinning moments. Pretty standard, pretty short. I think it serves its purpose, though, a family-friendly ride. And the nice thing about it is it functions. If the ride breaks down and a train or a car has to stop on one of the blockings, it'll actually make it to the next block without the momentum that it's carrying if it didn't have to stop. Might not be the most exciting, but at least it will actually stop. So have that going. Haven't done much in the way of theming yet. I wanted to make sure this layout was what I wanted. Did tweak the colors a bit. I'd made it up brighter. I'd assume this would be a newer addition to the park, so I didn't fade it. Originally, it was this really faded red. I like the more punchy red. So the queue, I'm not sold on it. Tell me your thoughts. Do you like this little? I could just do what I had originally, which is, now that I'm thinking about it, I might end up doing that, and we can tree this up better to really kind of set the station into the forest a bit. I like this idea of these pines, though, kind of like a northeastern lighthouse kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of cool. So one last thing I wanted to show you here while we're in real time is just I wanted to get down into tegidcam, and I wanted to show you some of the views. So let me just back up here, because none of this is new. You're all familiar with this. Let's see. Let's click on this staff member. Oh, look. His name is Handily tegidcam. Sweet. So let's just go ahead and hop into tegidcam. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Boop. And come this way. So you can see how this area is starting to, if you're going to walk through here, you know, you got your launch on the docks ride. Rogue Archer here. It's real cluttered, which I kind of dig. I don't do these too often, these real-time looks, so we still need to work over here, get some backstage stuff and fill this up a little bit, but that was what we were working on in the last episode. And here is our open net, which is pretty cool, and I just like the vibe you got. And now with this, as we, you know, you get these peaks here of this nice lighthouse and the coaster flies by. I kind of love that. I kind of really enjoy that. So that's kind of, what am I on? I'm on some clutter here. All right, so hate when that happens. Here's our closer up view of our typical Earl in our wharfle house. Oh, there's a tree poking through. I'll have to fix that. But you could see how this area is really starting to come together now. Really happy with it. You get this weird side view of Category 5, which I think is interesting. I always like getting interesting views. And there it goes again. I like that. I think that's really cool. And then let's walk through the tunnel real fast. So when we're coming at it from the other way, I'll have to fix all that. So there's some details you can see. If you look close, there's some areas you can see. But from this little bridge here, too, you get some really nice views of the wharf. And as we're walking through, I think this would be really exciting. Hello. Anytime you want to move, why are we not moving? There we go. There, one's coming. Yep, here it comes. So, woohoo! I really like that. I think that's really neat. I think that'll be really cool. Once all is said and done, I think that'll be wonderful. Need to shore up in here a little bit, push those posts back. I don't think we really need them now since we've rotated. Oh, yeah, I've rotated the lighthouse a little bit, so this is kind of a cool picture. This might be my thumbnail for the episode, so. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's probably going to do it for me on this episode. And so we will see you again for another one. We'll do the queue probably the next time and keep working on this area because it's really coming along. It's really coming along. It'll be nice to finally put the done stamp on this. So, yeah. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever. And I'll see you for the next episode of Conifer Slopes. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.